Okay, guys, welcome back. This ZRX 1200 ZRX build is rapidly closing in, but one of the things that's high on my list to do is the forks. I want to completely redo them, and by that I don't mean that I'm just going to change the fork oil. I mean that I'm going to take the forks out, disassemble them, and put new bushes in, and new fork seals in, and dust seals, and fork oil and all of that business, and also want to refurbish these. They're pretty good, but I think they're due a freshen up, and I also have new upper fork tubes here, or stanchions, upper stanchions. I'm going to, I have some gold nitrite plated ones. There's not a thing wrong with those. They're not pitted or damaged in any way. I just want to change them up a wee bit and give it a new look. But anyway, there are a couple of tools that the manual, the Kawasaki manual, recommends that you need to disassemble the forks, and that is for the lower part internally. There's a cylinder, a fork cylinder down in there, and it's retained by an Allen screw that screws up into it and holds it in place. Now, I haven't got one of those, and I don't intend to buy one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the wheel out, take the axle out, and use a compressed air, my compressor, and my air gun to see if I can break those little screws loose. And they're Loctited in from new, but a lot of people make the mistake. They take the forks out, and then they they disassemble them, and when it comes to that, doing that bit, then they run into trouble, because the cylinder in there starts turning around as you try and loosen the bit, the screw. So the idea of it is that you keep the fork intact. You keep the cap on it, you keep the spring in it, you keep it all under load, keep it intact, and then break that bolt loose with a rattle gun. And if it breaks loose, perfect. Even if one of them breaks loose and not the other one, I can disassemble the fork, and then I can see what type of tool that I could maybe make to take the other one apart if it doesn't come apart. And there's also another wee tool that they recommend you need, and that is like a wee sort of piston puller to pull the piston up out of the top of that fork when that's disassembled. But I'll make my own. That's a very simple tool to make. So I think the first thing we do is we take the wheel out to get access to that bolt I'm talking about. So stay with me. Okay, guys. Okay, so the first thing I need to do before I even get to the wheel is see this clamp, that attachment that I have. I'm going to have to take that off completely. Take it off my hydraulic table, and take this piece off the front, so that I can get access to all that. So I'll just remove that now. Okay, now with all that out of the way, the first thing is loosen the calipers. They will be getting changed at some point during this upgrade, but in the meantime, we'll just move these calipers out of the road. Okay. Calipers hooked up out of the way with a bungee cord. Next thing is these pinch bolts. No need to do both sides yet. Just do the right side first in the meantime. That'll allow you to loosen the axle. Okay, so I could use one of these under yoke style front paddock stands, take the weight off the front wheel, but I find it much easier to use scissor jack that has these long extenders on there. And I also have like a little bit of rubber on there so that even though these are padded, I still don't want it to mark the underside of my frame. So we'll just jack that up for a wee second and take the weight off that front wheel to get it out. All right, so I've just taken the weight off that, but the wheel's still on the deck there. So you need this here, okay, and that go in there. It's a 22mm one, and then we'll loosen the axle. Now, as I say, keep these 2 pinch bolts tight, and that'll allow you to loosen the axle. You'll loosen them pinch bolts in a wee minute or two after you've loosened this axle. All right. Okay, so now that's the axle loosened, the pinch bolts on the other side loosened, and the scissor jack, which I like using for you far more control over it. You can just adjust that up to its, you know, just skimming the deck of the lift there, and that way, you know, you're not struggling with the weight of the wheel or anything when you're trying to get it out. Okay. All right, so you'll see here that I don't have any speedo drive on this bike off of the front wheel because mine's coming off the front counter shaft like I was showing in one of the previous videos. And I've machined this spacer here to mimic what the other side of the wheel looks like, you know, stock. So that is just like a mirror image of that, although this part of it here is extended a bit more on account of there being no speedo drive. But anyway, so I can just remove the axle, catch all the spacers, and just take the wheel out. Let's do it. Okay, so we've got that well loosened, and as I say, because the wheel is sitting, you know, it's not a way up above it like it would be if you had that on a paddock stand. You know, I mean, you're not worried about taking this here out and something, you know, you having to hold the weight of that or anything like that, you know. So it's a much easier affair to use that scissor jack. And as you can see there, look, I have removed the axle. The spacers and all are still intact, and I can just wheel that out like that there. And it's as simple as that. Okay, guys, there's that big spacer there I was telling you about there. All right, so we just set the wheel to the one side, and we can take these pinch bolts out completely, and we can that's loosened, like I said, there and there. Okay, and then that means to say this collar, it can just come straight out. All right, so we can kind of just, you know, just put that all together there, you know, so nothing gets lost. Now we'll have access to this Allen bolt up in here. Hopefully we can loosen it. All right, guys. Okay, so there's that Allen bolt right up in there. And you need a 10mm. You need a 10mm, a long 10mm socket that will go up in there. And I've got this set here, but I've also got these ones that are shorter and possibly there's less flex with it. So, and I've put a piece of 10mm brass rod through there where the you know, the brake caliper would be, just so that nothing twists around on me whenever I try this here. So let's give it a go and see if this works. I've got my my gun here. ready to rock. Let's see how that we get on here. Right, let's do this. Let's see how we get on. Yes. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it loosened. Let's do the other one. Yeah, that's it. Let's just try that again. Make sure that we're totally loosened. Oh yeah. That's it. Success. Success. Okay. So I'll just nip that up just a tiny wee bit there with my by hand. Just like that. Just so it nothing weeps out of it. And that one. Yeah. Okay. Good job. Actually, I'll just tighten it another wee touch here for I see a drop of oil there wanting to let's see now. Let's see, just want to, that's enough. And then on this side, the same. Wow. That's enough. Because, you know, I mean, the fork oil's starting to weep out of it. All right, so that's it's. I mean, I could just let it drain away, but we'll not do that just for the minute because I want to get these the fork caps off here. All right. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is loosen this pinch bolt and actually loosen these pinch bolts as well, and drop the fork down because I want to slacken the cap up here, and you can't really get at it very well with the handlebars and all this paraphernalia up here. So I'm going to slacken this, loosen this here, move this down a wee bit, and position that about there where I can get at it. Okay. Right. Okay. Right, and then I can slacken those two. Now you're holding the fork here because you don't want that to slide right down and out on you. You know, drop to the floor like that. Okay. So I think about there, I could, maybe about there, I could get at that. And you're using this bottom yoke here, this bottom clamp, to hold this, you know, because you could do it in a vise, but who wants to do that? Aren't you better off holding it in that there and then just slacken this here? All right, okay. All right, so it's a 27mm socket, and you're just doing this, and and use a 6-sided socket because, I mean, you don't want to gall that up with a 12-sided socket. So there you go, and you're just holding that like that. right? And you're just holding that tight. And that's it. Okay, so that's that slackened. And I can now just take that fork out. But I'll not do that. I'll do the same on the other side. And that'll kind of, balance that up a wee bit, weight-wise while I do that. Do exactly the same on the other side, and then just lift the two forks out. Okay. Okay, so we're going to take these two forks out. You notice I have a wee piece of like an old T-shirt or something like that, so that if the forks can go down with a bit of a jolt, they're not going to get scraped or anything. But let's just remove them now. It's as simple as just slackening off these two pinch bolts again, and just sliding the fork out. Okay, just as simple as that. That's it. There you go. One out. I'll just prop that against that and do the other one. All right, just as simple as that. Slacken this one and just take the other fork out. There you go. All right, so that's her. That's them right and ready. There's the calipers and everything all hanging up there out of the road. Okay, so that's the two forks out. As you can see, you notice there I have a wee piece of blue roll stuffed into the bottom, just in case that wants to weep out. Everything's loosened. Those can, I can hold that quite easily, loosen the caps off. I'm not rushing anything. I'm just going to take it very slowly, step by step, let you see everything there is involved in it. And I've seen other videos on YouTube where people, they do this here in a video that only lasts a few minutes, and they've, got it done, and you haven't really picked up. You're looking at it going, what did he do there? I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go through every single step methodically, slowly, so that anybody watching along can see exactly what's involved, and then they can do the job themselves. Okay, guys, so thanks very much for tuning in. Stay tuned for the next one. Okay, bye.